47 Eyewitness News in high definition.
Next on Eyewitness News, a man suspected in connection with 3 murders is tracked down and shot by Fresno police. We're live with why they opened fire.
Plus, after destroying 33 homes, crews try to keep the Courtney fire from causing any more devastation. We'll have an update from the foothills in Madera County.
And a cooling trend begins a day early, but no complaints in the Pinpoint Weather Center forecast.
This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 5 in high definition.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning us in. I'm Ken Malloy.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. We are following developing news tonight. A man wanted for murder is dead following a run-in with Fresno police. It happened this morning in front of a home on First near Clinton. 21-year-old Matthew Perez was shot and killed by officers after trying to escape. Police say the man is a violent gang member suspected of killing 3 people. CBS 47's Angela Greenwood is live at the scene where the shooting happened. Angela?
Well, yes, Lindsay and Ken, police tell us they spent over 2,000 hours and questioned more than 40 of Matthew Perez's family members as well as other gang members in their search for him. Now, this wasn't the first time the suspect tried to escape from police. He actually did manage to get away from them during a run-in back in July, but today it cost him his life. After months of running from police, 21-year-old Matthew Perez, a wanted murder suspect and Bulldog gang member, is dead, shot and killed by Fresno police.
Utilizing deadly force is always a last resort.
It happened around 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. A Crime Stoppers tip led police to Perez's girlfriend's home here on 1st Street near Clinton Avenue. Detectives say as they walked toward the door, Perez tried to escape through the back window. That's when shots were fired.
I believe 6 rounds were expended, 3 by each officer, and again there are 2 veteran officers.
The suspect was hit once and taken to the hospital where he later died. Police say it's unclear whether Perez was armed. They've yet to find a weapon, but they do say detectives felt they were threatened.
And he's given statements that he wouldn't be taken alive. He's a very violent individual. He's a validated Bulldog gang member, and he's definitely a threat to the community.
It's scary, but I'm glad they got him because one of the victims he did kill was related to my cousin.
This neighbor is talking about 42-year-old Philip Poe, a man police say Perez shot and killed in an alley near his girlfriend's home on May 2nd. The suspect was also wanted for the murder of Aleman Ramirez and Jose Lopez back in July.
Through their investigation revealed that that was a robbery execution.
Perez's brother and another woman were also detained. Neighbors in the area say they heard the gunshots Tuesday, just the latest scare in what they call a string of violence in the neighborhood.
Thinking about maybe relocating, taking my kids maybe to another area where it's nice and safer.
Now, we do want to remind that the northbound side of 1st Street from Weldon to Clinton is still closed to traffic as police continue their investigation. Right now, though, you're looking at a large radio tower out here, and if you look closely at the very top, you can see a camera. That's a police camera, and we're told it captured everything that happened out here this morning, so it will likely be used during the investigation into why the officers opened fire. We also did briefly speak with the suspect's father out here today, but he politely declined an interview. Live in Central Fresno, Angela Greenwood, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Angela, thank you for that. Meanwhile, firefighters are gaining ground on the Courtney fire in Madera County. It's now 40% contained. The fire started on Sunday. It's burned so far 320 acres and destroyed 33 homes. Several different agencies are working together to prevent further damage. Unfortunately, access to the Courtney fire is difficult because of the steep terrain and rugged conditions there, and there is still a danger for people living in areas where the fire has already passed through.
We're getting to that 48-hour mark, basically, of when the fire started. So these trees have had fire impinged upon them and had fires burning underneath them.
CAL FIRE held a meeting today at the American Red Cross Evacuation Center, giving the latest information for those impacted. It's unlikely residents will be allowed to return for at least 2 more days. The cause of the fire, meanwhile, is still under investigation. It's cooler today, but the weather is still having an impact on firefighters.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Mace has our look at the forecast.
Yeah, it is much cooler today, so that's the great news, and it came a day early. So instead of having low 100s again, we have 90s out there, so that's a slight improvement, and there's a chance for some light showers. in the Pinpoint 7-day forecast as well. Let's get right up to the Skyview camera at Bass Lake, show you what it looks like right now. The skies are clear, a little bit of smoke in the air, of course, but more cloud cover coming, especially by the end of the week. Now, right now, the Courtney Fire area has temperatures in the 80s and 90s and not much wind to deal with. It's almost dead calm in many areas. The Courtney Fire, of course, began right there where that flame spot is near Road 426, spread off to the east and made it all the way over to Bass Lake. And for tonight, they'll encounter very similar conditions, dry and pretty warm. Now, in Southern California, some showers and thunderstorms. In fact, there's a severe thunderstorm warning that just expired. A flash flood warning still on for tonight in the red areas. So they're getting a little bit of rain in Southern California and some hail and lightning as well. Lake Havasu City over in Arizona picking up some flash flooding right now. So a flash flood warning and watch posted for the rest of the evening tonight. And in fact, I think we'll see this continue in the south over the next couple of days. Temperatures back here in the valley are in the 90s, so yes, we're about 7 or 8 degrees cooler than the same time yesterday. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for the rest of the night tonight. At 9 o'clock, 85 degrees. At 11, 79. The morning low temperature, 67. And how much cooler will it get tomorrow? I'll have some answers coming up in the Pinpoint 7-day forecast.
All right, thank you, Scott. Continuing our coverage of the Courtney Fire, we invite you to stay with CBS 47. We will bring you updates here on CBS 47 and online at yourcentralvalley.com. Aside from the Courtney Fire that's burning, of course, in Madera County, there are 2 other major wildfires burning in Northern California.
In Siskiyou County, crews are contending with the Bowles Fire. That's burning close to the Oregon border. Farther south in the Sacramento area, the King Fire has charred more than 11,000 acres. It's burning in El Dorado County near the American River. That fire started over the weekend. More than 1,500 firefighters are tackling the massive blaze. There are 500 structures threatened and hundreds of people remain evacuated from their homes. Only 5% of the King Fire is contained.
Meanwhile, the Boyles Fire has burned about 375 acres. It's now 20% contained. It's caused a lot of devastation in the city of Weed. More than 100 buildings have been damaged or destroyed by the fire. It started yesterday afternoon. It's still threatening 1,000 other structures tonight.
In Fresno, a violent crime spree comes to an end with the arrest of 5 people. Fresno police say 2 armed robberies happened within minutes in the area of Clinton and Brawley last night. Officers were also alerted to an armed carjacking, connecting the same group of suspects to the 3 incidents. Police booked 4 men and 1 minor after a brief chase. Investigators say the crew that were arrested might have been brought to town by crooks here in Fresno.
It does happen from time to time. It's been our experience that sometimes these guys have family or friends from out of town that they'll bring in to do these types of crimes and then leave again quickly. Again, that's something that doesn't happen quite often, and when it does, we just try to handle those the best we can, and this is usually the end result. More stuff right now.
No one was hurt during the robberies. Everything was returned. The suspects are now facing multiple charges, including armed robbery and carjacking. New at 5 tonight, for the first time in the history of our state, groundwater is being regulated.
That's right. Governor Jerry Brown signed 3 bills into law today that require the state to manage groundwater. CBS 47's Lamore Abrams joins us live in the control room with more on the impact. Lamore?
Well, Ken and Lindsay, these laws not only impact farmers, they impact anyone on private wells for drinking water. Again, as you mentioned, these laws allow the state, for the first time in California's history, to take full control over groundwater. And prior to today, groundwater had always been considered a property right. Yours when you purchase land. But as of 2020, the new laws will require local agencies to manage groundwater and report to the State Department of Water Resources. The Water Resources Department can restrict pumping, and if they think necessary, impose fines to anyone that refuses inspections.
This is a problem that's been around. It's a real problem. With climate change, it's going to get to be a bigger problem, and we have to learn to manage wisely water and energy and land and our investment. So that's why this is important. And just signing the bill today is only the beginning.
The governor says finally the state will be able to prevent overpumping and potential damage to soil. Farmers, however, tell us the new bills will prevent them from growing their crops. And where do we go from here? Well, voters in November will vote on that new water bond, which will hope to improve water supplies across the state. Reporting live in the control room tonight, Lamore Abrams, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Lamore, thank you for that. CBS 47 and the Big Fresno Fair are teaming up to help feed the hungry, and we need your help.
Join us for a CBS 47 collection drive. You can drop off 12 non-perishable canned food items, and you'll get 1 ticket to the Big Fresno Fair. The limit is 2 tickets per car while supplies last. Bring your donations this Wednesday, that's tomorrow, to the new CBS 47 studios located at 5035 East McKinley in Fresno. We'll be collecting from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. And for more information on the drive, you can go to our website, yourcentralvalley.com.
Celebrating generations of education coming up on Eyewitness News at 5. A big milestone for Fresno High School, how the school and the city marked the occasion.
I think there's a lot more that we need to be doing, but there's no reason for us not to do what the president asked us to do.
The debate over ISIS in Iraq, the latest consensus in Washington as the U.S. prepares to take action.
And coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, 2 years after a drinking death of a Fresno State fraternity pledge, sentences are handed down for 2 men connected with that case. That story and more at 6.